What's up, everyone? Josh Pickle with Pickle Performance here. Alright, so unfortunately this is my 22 F-150 behind me. A few weeks ago I was out playing around, having a little fun, and lost all power. Truck started smoking real bad. Motherfucker. Pulled over, got it back to the shop. Long story short, I snapped a rod. So, new engine time for the pickle truck. So, sucks that it happened, but I will say that I beat on this truck for 8,000 miles. Like it offended me, like it owed me money, like it talked about my mama. Like, I beat the shit out of this truck. So I got a lot of smiles in those 8,000 miles, but I'm still bummed that, you know, I'm having to do a motor replacement and a brand new truck essentially. But what I'm doing is I'm taking that as an opportunity to help educate. So these have different timing procedures. I really wanted to do a complete timing procedure for this new Coyote, but whenever the rod snapped, piston got lodged in the crank, so I couldn't rotate it to show you the proper disassembly. So I'm gonna go through the disassembly, even though it's already assembled. I'm gonna basically go through the disassembly with you, and then you'll see how it gets timed and reassembled and some of the cool things that I discovered about this new Coyote along the way. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and show you how to properly disassemble the timing chains on this. So what you're going to want to do is start with the keyway in the 9 o'clock position. And you need to verify, this is your right side head, you need to verify that the right mark is around the 11 o'clock position, where as you can see, we're closer to 4 o'clock right now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna rotate the crank 360 degrees. And what I'm using is an old crank bolt stacked with 3 washers. That works just fine. Make sure that you have your spark plugs removed and it rotates easy enough. So let's go back to 9 o'clock. There. Now let's check and see where our right hand mark is. See, we're right around 11 o'clock, which is exactly where we want to be. So now that we have our crank and our cams in the correct position, we can now remove it. Another thing that you can note to make sure that you're in the right position is you can see the QR codes on the cams. They're upright. So if you're in the wrong position, you aren't going to see your QR codes. So that's just another little trick to note. So I'm not actually going to disassemble it, but we're at the position now where you can remove your guide bolt and your tensioner bolts and then take your chain off. So once your chain's removed, I know this sounds nuts and it really screwed with me the first time I ever timed a Coyote, but once this right hand chain is off, you're gonna rotate your crank 360 degrees. So you're gonna go back to your 9 o'clock position, right there. And then from 9 o'clock, you're gonna go to 4 o'clock. So we're at 12, 3, and about 4 right there. So we have our keyway in the 4 o'clock position. We're now on our left side head. So we're gonna be looking for our left timing mark. and that's going to be in the 3 o'clock position. So we know that we're right. You can go ahead and check the top of your cams, make sure that your QR codes are visible here and here, so you know that you're in the right position. And then you can go ahead, remove your guide and your tensioners, take your chains off, and then you're ready to rock. Alright, so now that I have all the cams in place, it's now time to start setting up my timing chain. So what I have is the keyway is at about 4 o'clock. The timing mark on the crank sprocket is at about 11 o'clock. And then the exhaust phaser, this is on the left head, so the left mark is about 12 o'clock. Alright, so I have my guides back on and my tensioner, and all I have to do is pull this pin out and that'll release the tensioner. One thing that I always double check is to make sure that the timing chain hasn't moved and the links are still in the correct spot. So we can go ahead and pull this bad boy and move on to our next side. Alright, so after I finished putting on my driver's side or left-hand side timing chains, I rotated the crankshaft so that the keyway is at the 9 o'clock position, and then your timing mark is about 3:30 or so on your crank sprocket. And then up here, we're on the right side now, so we're looking at the mark that says R. That's about at the, we'll call it 10 o'clock position. Alright, so there you have it. That's how you time the new 21 and 22 F-150 Coyote. All that's left now is for us to get the timing covers back on, accessories, the Whipple, and then guess what? We're going to keep sending this truck. That's what we do around here. Alright, we'll see you soon.